And share. And we're going to share this one. Share. Okay. Hello, my name is Lyric. I'm going to be doing my PowerPoint in regarding to social barriers with autistic adults on how do communications affect their belongings. Let me start this now. Okay. So, what is this about? Basically, what is autism? Why is it hard for some autistic adults to connect with others? Why this matter of social worker? Why does this matter for social workers? And my main research question, how do differences in communication between autistic and non-autistic people affect autistic adults fit into society? So the problem is many autistic adults feel left out, finding trouble, jobs, community activities, the less resources we do have in general. The main issues are communication differences. Many do communicate through nonverbal, they do communicate through the special disabilities that they have, like they can't talk, they're nonverbal. So what they do is they normally hit the table, or they'll point, or they yell, or they hold their ears. These challenges can hurt them either mental health and self-esteem in general. So, what the research says, the past research shows autistic people often feel misunderstood, which many do just due to how they look, how they prescribe themselves, how they see others, how others help others. Others do have little computers, monitors that help them communicate and talk to others on how they feel physically and mentally. The double ethnic problem, meaning both sides struggle to understanding each other. Most programs try to fix what they say is called autistic people instead of helping everyone understand each other, which I do see in our society. A lot of people do help each other, try finding resources, but as much as we do have resources, it's not enough of resources because we have specialties for different types of special needs in general. We do need better supports that fit their needs, meaning, like how I did say that we do have resources, but the resources are very limited on different types of the disabilities and special needs that we do have for autistic and autism. The theories of the guide that guide this is double empathy theory. It's not just autistic people who are struggling, it's both sides. Um, Both sides are meaning regular people like me, like us, versus someone who's autistic and Down syndrome or, has Alzheimer's or mixed with both in their older age, but they're really young. They don't grow up, they stay very little. The neurodiversity ideas, autism isn't something we can fix but understand, and we can include that, which now in our society, schools, they do have special need classes they do have where they only go from 7 or 8 to 12 to 1, 12 to 2, just to see how the diversity is, meaning the type of, type of atmosphere it is when classes, students, because I know some people and some special needs, they do get separated due to the yelling, or some of them might be high, more maintenance, some of them might be low maintenance, some of them might need full hands-on, with others just to help them, move forward with the processes of getting the help that they need and more care. So these help guide my research questions on how I look at the data in general. So how I do my research, I would always use two ways, which is, give me one second. Surveys, number of datas, and say in datas and surveys. Interviews, stories, and opinions, meaning when you ever get somebody brand new from something that they come from a different such a program, or they did come from different meanings of just life in general. A child getting transferred from a youth, i.e., to which is a in early intervention to an actual case management, meaning someone who has autistic, Down syndrome, anything like that, to get transferred over from a youth to an actual grown adult. It does take time to do interviews, scanning, screenings, everything like that, and the stories and opinions. We don't take usually take opinions every day. Everybody doesn't really take opinions. We don't go based off opinions. We go based off kind of more of our clients on how they feel physically and mentally. On how they interact with the daily activities, how they react with residentials, how they react with caregivers, PCAs, their personal carers at home. If they live with parents and parents can't do it, they mainly get someone who can help them, meaning like nurses, home health, anything like that particular. And then this basically gives me, not only me, but the family and then, um, the consumers in general, being everybody, helps them both get the fact of the feelings of if they like it or they don't like it. And it's hard to tell, but eventually you'll start to understand if they are or not. Okay. What I look for, one, I look how comfortable people feel in social groups, meaning kind of going back to pertaining to the survey and how they feel physically, mentally during daily activities. Um, some of them might be very social, some of them might not. Some of them just like to do all their one-on-ones by themselves and do like anything they could get to is just kind of monitoring them basically on how their everyday life is. Two is whether they feel more understood by autistic or non-autistic people, which most non-autistic and autistic people, they're very verbally. They can speak, some of them can't, some of them speak with many little defects about themselves, meaning they yell, they scream, they like the whole vibration, they'll point, they'll do hand signals. A lot of them mainly do use sign language, so it's kind of understanding. Three is what helps them feel included. A lot of things help many autistic and non-autistic consumers, I say consumers, involved. They always feel included. One thing I do have to say is best to separate excuse me, whoever's disability it is in-person groups like autism and Down syndrome versus full care, meaning wheelchair, who people who consumers who yell all the time, which is normally their way of communicating, or that's just them in general, which we can't change. That's normally how they do it. Which we basically separate them, and what we do is we put them in different rooms, or we'll put them in different categories or activities, or some will come later and some will come earlier. And some can get transported, some of them could get dropped off by parents, just really what's best works for them. Culture and ethnicity. I'll include that many people have different backgrounds, meaning race, gender, LGBTQ, disability. Everyone voice matters, of course. I'll make sure that the research is safe and fair, which informed consent, privacy, and people can leave at any time. Anytime meaning I wouldn't necessarily say anytime. It's just more of if the families could provide for them or get them out, or if there is a provider who usually comes in like a bus, or if families are there and they're like, oh yeah, they have a transportation, then that'll be okay, but they would have to be signed out. As follow as the NSAW Code of Ethics, 2021. Why this matters? I would say it could help improve support programs, which many programs take advantage of this just so that they get more of explanations of what we need to do and how we need to do it. Could Give me one second. Could change have workplaces and communicate communities treat autistic adults? Yes, there is day programs and there's many activities where everybody in everywhere they have communities who help days, nights, home health, transportation from hospitals to doctors' appointments. Help social workers understand both sides of the communication gap. So, social workers, they understand from case management to home health to different types of hospital settings, home settings, case management, working settings, everything, etc. Many people do come from hospital settings or case management. Um, but understanding the differences is kind of different due to each state. It can be due to state agency, it can be a nonprofit. Just really just understand from both sides of perspectives. It's really hard to understand similar and not similar just because many areas are different. Reduce stress and improves mental health for autistic adults. Yes, it reduces stress. Many people love to communicate, like to do what they like to do in person, just to help them reduce everything, meaning activities, like to go walk, like to go say, hey, handsome, hey, pretty girl, just to give them that self-esteem, like, oh my God, someone here, like someone's here to see me, someone's here to like, applaud me, anything like that. That's very something, we like to personally do as case managers or social workers in general. Um, yes. As far as that, these are my references. The first one is Wilkes, which is the article I did use for my proposal, and then of course, the National Association of Social Workers 2021 Code of Ethics of National Social of Case of Social Workers. There is a link provided. So if you have any questions, go ahead and please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.